went to supporting the members, went to building this union, went to building workers' power, and it was a dollar well spent. Now, we know in Ontario that we've talked a great deal about the resources that we obtain from our national union, and you'll see in the financial reports, based on the accounting system that we have, that it's quite clear. We're very strongly supported by our national union. Money for campaigns of all sorts and kinds. And I also want to be very clear with you, sisters and brothers, about my view on this. It's not CUPE National's money. It's not CUPE Ontario's money. Every last dollar in this union, it can be at the local level, it can be at the council level, it can be at the provincial level, it can be at the national level. Every last dollar is members' money. And every last dollar needs to be spent to defend the members. And that's why we continue to have these discussions with our national union. It's why we're proud to show clearly the resources that we gain from them to be able to do work in Ontario, because, again, that's our job. That's why we're here as CUPE Ontario, to be able to conduct those campaigns that support locals and support bargaining to help to move the union forward. I honestly believe, sisters and brothers, having had the distinct privilege of this job for the last 2 years, that we're in transition in CUPE Ontario. We are taking our union to the next level, as they say. We have put on an enormous amount of work, involved more members than ever before, helped to book off workers from every corner of this province, every sector, had more equality representation not only in our committees, but in our book-offs and in our campaigns. We are moving forward literally on so many fronts. I'm afraid to start to list them because I know I'll forget some of them. And while we do that, sisters and brothers, we need to understand what the way forward is for our finances. And I believe there is a way forward. We negotiated with ourselves and debated a dues increase at the last convention. And you will know that that was a difficult debate. In this financial year, we've only enjoyed 9 months of that increase, but in the next financial year, we will have a full year of it. We will also build this division, as I said to you, over 4,000 workers. Members of CUPE in the province of Ontario have come back home to CUPE Ontario, affiliated and joined. They're now sitting in the boat, picking up the paddles, and they're rowing with the rest of us. And we're going to keep that affiliation going, sisters and brothers. We are going to launch an affiliation drive like no other, and we are going to talk to every last local in this province, and we're not going to stop until we've got 100% of them to be part of CUPE Ontario. That's the other way to build resources, sisters and brothers. Get more people in. That's how we can build resources. And we need to keep talking to our national union about helping us with resources, particularly around things like translation. I want to pull out translation as one of the things in which we were well overspent last year. But I will put it to you, sisters and brothers, that this convention 2 years ago made a decision that all of the work of CUPE Ontario should be translated into both official languages. And we have been working very hard to do that, sisters and brothers. It does cost us money, and we could use more help from our national union on that front. But every dollar we are spending is helping us to represent Francophone members who are members of CUPE and who belong with us in CUPE Ontario, and it is a dollar well spent. We are spending money to make sure that workers with disabilities can more fully participate in their union, with American Sign Language, in events where we need it, closed captioning and other things. These things cost us more money. But they help more members to be fully part of their union, and every dollar there is a dollar well spent. And I talked to you earlier when introducing our staff about the challenges we've had this year. We've had a number of people take sick leave and other kinds of leave. And what I will tell you, sisters and brothers, is that part of the role that I have as your Secretary-Treasurer is that we are an employer. We employ these workers. And what I will tell you is that we will never act like some of the employers we have to deal with. We will never force people to work short and just add to their workload. We will never say to workers who deserve a wage increase like every other worker that we will not budget for one. We will never treat our workers the way that I was treated and the way that many of our members are treated. We will provide an example as an employer. And we will make sure that the people we employ, who we rely upon, each and every one of those campaigns, you can look in the financial report, each and every one of them relies on administrative backbone to have them carried out. Yes, they rely on members. Yes, they rely on committees. But anybody in this House who's a secretary or an administrative support worker knows that the real power lies in the admin support behind a campaign. And so we're overspent on our staffing. Sisters and brothers, every last dollar we spent there was a dollar well spent to make sure that the work that you mandate us to do gets done. I just want to close by saying, I know I've gone a little over my time. The figures and financial figures are there in the report. I know that many of you, of course, are seeing it for the first time. It is in the kits. Looks like this. Please read it. Please ask questions about it. If not now, then any time during this convention or at any time during the year. One of the things I've been committed to doing and that I believe in, sisters and brothers, is building economic literacy in our union. We have to understand where our money goes and how we spend it and why we spend it that way. We have to understand that because it's our money, and we have to know that it's being spent for a good purpose. I'll happily take any questions from any of you, either now or at any point during this convention, or as I said, over the coming weeks. And I want to thank you all for the honor and privilege of having served you as your treasurer for the last 2 years. Thank you, sisters and brothers.